Matthews broadcast family. This is Tuesday, the 27th of December, 2016. We've got 3 more days left in the year 2016, and it seems like things are just speeding up and moving oh so fast. Glad to be here with you this evening. We are the Matthews broadcast, as you know, here at 91.7 FM and streaming worldwide on the web at www.gemsradio.net. We look forward to working with you, our world changers, in 2017. And in 2016, we want to go out by reminding you that you are a world changer, but nothing changes until you change it. You are a world changer, but nothing changes until you change it. We have work to do in our communities and urban communities all over this country. We have an interesting administration coming in, filled with, as Shakespeare said, sound and fury signifying nothing. But we have to do some things in our community to empower it and enrich it. You know that we made a decision together, you and I, to be about empowerment, to be about enrichment of urban communities. And we're going to stay on that grind. We're going to stay on that business. And we've got some really, really unique guests coming on right now to help us with that process. But first, I want to reiterate two things that we always share with you at the beginning of every broadcast. One, coming from our beloved poet laureate Maya Angelou, and that is that Sister Maya taught us that people will forget what you said. They may forget what you did, but they will never ever forget how you made them feel. So get into the business of making someone in our community feel good. Get into the business of doing unto others those things that you would have done unto you. Get into the business of uplifting someone very close to you that may be down right now. These are the things that are lasting. These are the things that are important. The second thing that we remind you is that while it is important to have financial wealth, we do need our daily bread. We need our daily bread for taking care of ourselves, taking care of our loved ones, reinvesting in our communities. But as you focus on getting financial wealth, we want to remind you to get the fruit of the Spirit as well. So each time we start this broadcast, we remind you that you're only truly wealthy when you have earned those things that money cannot buy, such things as unconditional love, such things as respect and honor of your peers, your family, and your circle of love, wisdom and respect, such as true lasting friendship, such as strong loving families. Those things are the fruit of the Spirit. Those things are the fruit of character, and you're not truly wealthy until you have earned those things. So we're going to get right into the broadcast in a moment. We're going to go to a commercial break right now, and we're going to come right back to you. And on this day, which is the second day of Kwanzaa, our ceremony to celebrate first fruits in our community. Kwanzaa, of course, the second principle for those who don't know, and all of you who do, is Kujichagulia, which means self-determination, naming ourselves, speaking for ourselves, creating for ourselves, setting a destiny for ourselves, and not having anyone set a destiny for us. I remember asking my grandfather when I was very young, how come in hunter stories, lion and hunter stories, the hunter always wins? My grandfather, Benjamin Andrews, a very wise man. He took about 5 minutes, thought about it, and then he had that big smile on his face, and I knew something was coming. He said, Stan, the story would be different if the lion learned how to write. That'll catch up with you when you think about it just a little bit. So we have to be able to tell our own story for the story to come out the way we want it to come out. And so Kujichagulia is a principle that if we live by it, it will not matter what the person in the White House says about us, good or bad. It will not matter what the person in the State House says about us, good or bad. What will matter is whatever we say being in alignment with our conception of who we are and what we are in the world. So I want to get started with these two wonderful citizens of urban New Jersey, and proud to say it. They come from our communities, and they bring their talents and their gifts to the table so that they can be a blessing to our people wherever they are. So I'm going to begin with the Queen, and I'm going to ask her, what's on your heart and on your mind on this Tuesday? What are those things in the news that you think are a benefit of our people? I know you read everything. You are a social media maven and expert. So what's hot and what's wise? What's out there right now that we should be thinking about doing?
Well, I think you brought it up with this second day of Kwanzaa. I think right now, if we actually, folks, Kwanzaa is really, I think, is underappreciated, undercelebrated, because the principles are really, really poignant, and they're all 7 of them. They're something that I know we celebrate the last 7 days of the year, but if we applied these principles every single day to our lives, all Absolutely. 7 of them, we will see a change in our community, the change that we want, the change that we need. Absolutely. So my focus on this day is the second principle for Kwanzaa, and that is self-determination. And I wish that other people make that commitment too.
Absolutely.
Focus on self-determination.
Absolutely. Cornelius and I covered the first opening night at St. Luke's Baptist Church here in the Silk City of Patterson, and we had a great time last night. Chief Alonzo Moody and the New Family Foundation did an outstanding job celebrating Umoja, because, as Marcus Garvey said, our unity is our power that cannot be taken away from us. That's long before he said, "Up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will." He understood that no single one of us is greater than all of us. So, he had a great celebration. Our own Walter Fields from Maplewood, New Jersey, was the keynote, and Walter brought the heat. Walter said to us that we should be celebrating that we have a tough opponent getting ready to take the White House because iron sharpens iron. And Walter said if we could survive the Middle Passage, if we could survive 285 years of chattel slavery of the most brutal sort, if we could survive another 100 years of Jim Crow, and another 50 years since Dr. King's "I Have a Dream" speech of false promises, then we could survive this man. Exactly. So Walter said, as DJ Khaled, I agree with DJ Khaled, that all we do is win, win, win. And that's what I'm expecting. So Walter said, get ready for a good fight. You never really, really get happy, right, Cornelius, till you beat somebody that was supposed to be tough. That's right. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not going to get into the East Orange days. but somebody that Dawn knows, a young lady with the last name of Sutton, had a family, and they all was karate experts. So Cornelius, this lady decided, when I was in 5th grade, that she liked me. She thought I was cute. Mm-hmm. But this young lady wasn't, let's just say she wasn't something that I was dreaming about.
She's a warrior.
So, so I told her, back in the day, you used to say, would you go with me?
Yeah.
So I said no. So she sicked the whole family on me. Oh, man. Lord have mercy. And my friend and I, Ernie Hayes, was walking home with like 20 people following us. So I built up the courage. I just turned around and said, well, look, if we're going to fight, we're going to fight today. As T.D. Jakes said, in order for you to defeat the devil, you got to tell him, bring it.
Right.
We ain't going to wait till we get off the school bus. Let's do it now. Right. And then, I looked up a little bit late. I was winning the fight. I was. So guess what, Mr. Trump? We're going to be there on the 14th of January. We're going to be there every single day. We are not going backwards on criminal justice reform. We are not going backwards on the demand for jobs and justice. We are not going backward for investment in infrastructure with our people being hired. We are not going backward on any of the things that we have fought for, our forefathers and foremothers have died for. We are not going backward. And if you stand in our way, we will be there on any battlefield at the time you name. We will be there. So we're going to be there with Reverend Sharpton and others on the 14th to make our claims, because we take literally the meaning of what Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman, who worked with the person who wrote the Gettysburg Address, Abraham Lincoln. Frederick Douglass was with him when he was writing that address. Harriet Tubman was with him when he was writing that address. And so we take literally that government for the people, by the people, shall not perish from the earth. We take that as our birthright, and we're not backing up off of it. Right? Because our people was there. Without us, the Union would not have won the war. There are 5 key battles. Go check this out yourself, brothers and sisters. 5 key battles in the Civil War. You will find black men on the battlefield wearing blue in every one of those battles. The rebel army from the South, the Confederate army, was an hour and a half away from where we're sitting right now. Gettysburg, ladies and gentlemen, is in Pennsylvania. They were about to take it all. And when those brothers and sisters ran down on that sea of blue, ran down on that sea of gray, it changed the war. You won it. So nobody's taking anything away from us. Right? So now I want to get back to my brother Smooth Greg. And here he is today, all the way from Willingboro, New Jersey. And Greg is here to educate us on how we use real estate and real estate tools and techniques as a tool of empowerment. So Greg Jones, we're glad to have you as usual. And so you take it from here. I know that you have much to discuss with us of value. So tell us about your business and tell us about how you're going to be able to educate people in our inner circle and in our organization about how real estate can be used to empower and enrich.
It's a pleasure to be here, Stan. Essentially, I do residential mortgage financing. So any residential properties up to 4 units. I'm with a company called Annie Mac Home Mortgage. So one of the unique value propositions that our company has is we do have a dedicated renovation as well as construction department. So what that allows me to do is leverage, rebuilding and building up communities by using renovation financing to move a lot of properties that have been, in foreclosure, vacant for long periods of time that just haven't been able to move from the market due to their state. So renovation financing allows someone to purchase a home that isn't in move-in condition, combine the financing to make the repairs in conjunction with the sale price to purchase the home.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially they can finance up to 110% of the value, the after improved value,
Mm-hmm.
and still put down the minimum down payment that the programs require. So they can purchase the home, get the improvements done all in one financing. That benefits the community, so it's a win-win situation because we're starting to move properties that have been sitting vacant, some cases 2-3 years, that just aren't in purchase condition because of the the repairs that need to be done. With a bank-owned property, the bank isn't going to make repairs prior to a sale being completed, and a buyer usually isn't going to make those repairs without owning the home. So you kind of have a situation there that the properties sit at a standstill. This provides a solution for that to move those properties off the market. In addition to the values in the area, with the after improved value and the properties being renovated, it
Mm-hmm.
will improve the values of the properties in that community as well.
Now, tell me, Greg, I know that you're licensed in several states. What are the states that you are able to work with residential financing right now? What are the states that you are able to sit down with a buyer and help them to make that investment in real estate?
Right now, I'm licensed in 5 states, and that is New Jersey, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, California, and Oregon. So those are 5 states I'm licensed to do business in at this time.
hmm hmm How long have you been doing real estate financing?
12 years. I started in the business in 2004.
2004.
2004. Yep.
Wow, wow, wow. And he looks like he just graduated from high school. Cornelius. So, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
By the way,
I started doing mortgages when I was 10.
by the way, Babyface is going to be at New Jersey back next month.
All right, wow.
Just by the way, who is a good referral for you, Greg? I know that you love to help people. I know you love to see the looks on people's faces when their dream comes true. I know you're going to help me. I am looking to purchase property in Florida. My sister and I want to put 2 homes together and be able to claim an entire block on a community where our mom lived. We want to purchase the house next door. It happens to be available, as I was sharing with Greg. My mother's next door neighbor was an elderly Asian couple, and they, transcended and went off into heaven 10 years ago. Their son, who was an accountant, did not want to sell the house. All he did was mow the lawn, keep the house up. So, it had that legacy value to him. He didn't want to do anything. And then, recently, when my mother, went home to be with God, he all of a sudden called me up and said, Stan, are you interested? So, I can't wait till that day that we put those together. I know that would be very pleasing to my mom. But tell me, who's a good referral for you?
So essentially, anyone and they can be in the very early stages of home or considering purchasing a home, whether it's 12 months, it could be 2 years out. So anyone looking to purchase residential real estate or even refinance residential real estate, the renovation loans I discussed can be completed in a refinance transaction as well. So anyone looking to purchase or refinance a 1 to 4 unit property, whether it be today or 12, 24 months from now, because the education really starts as early in the home buying process as possible. Ideally, 3 to 6 months prior, just so they have the education going into it, understand the tax benefits, the wealth impact. So anyone in that category.
Now, a real estate investor that I know is telling me that at this stage of the economic cycle, rates are about to start going up. Do you think there's any validity to, if you're going to make a purchase or make a refinance, do it now? He was saying you need to, whatever you're going to do, make sure you get it done before 2018, because at that point rates are going to be on the high side. Do you agree about that?
They are trending. We have the uncertain with the Trump presidency coming in. So there's 2 sides to it. One is there's a strong feeling as far as the job market, may strengthen, which is going to increase interest rates. At the same time, it will spark home buying because people are more likely to purchase based off of feeling secure about their job than what the interest rates are. So refinances will suffer if that happens, with rates increasing. So anyone looking to refinance, now would be the time to do it. Because likely rates are going to be higher come 2018 if the trend continues what already started when the election took place.
Gotcha. Want to ask you one final question, Greg. What do you have to offer to the Matthews broadcast audience in return for their support?
We're offering, via Annie Mac Home Mortgage, are offering up to a $500 credit towards their closing costs for any borrower that completes a transaction with us. It can be for a purchase or a refinance transaction, and it can also apply to renovation lending that we do as well. Essentially, that would cover the cost of an appraisal. Typically, appraisals run almost that amount. So it's a good credit. It takes a chunk out of your closing costs.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Generous man. I'll take that. I'll take that. Well, I'm looking forward to some point in January or February, completing my little slice of heaven on the lake in town and country, Tampa. So don't go moving away. I'm gonna make sure I get my thing done. Before we go to the break, Dawn, what else is trending in our community, in our world, that's of significance to our people that we need to keep our eye on?
Well, the only thing, well, this is not something that we need to keep our eye on, but I've noticed the year 2016 has been a big year of deaths, and that's something that concerns me. I mean, a lot of, even, I was a 80s, 90s baby,
Hmm.
growing up in that time. A lot of our people are just going away.
Give me some of the names as we go to
Just
the
in
break.
2016, Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad, oh, the greatest. I'm so fast. I'm so pretty.
Prince passed away. Just today, even though, George, I was a Wham fan. Yes, I was. I have to admit it. George Michael
George Michael.
passed away. It wasn't that long ago, Whitney Houston. I know it was more than this year, but, it just seemed like a lot of them. Just this year alone, a lot of celebrities,
Yeah,
or quote unquote celebrities.
That's right, that's right.
And not even just celebrities, just
that's
a lot
right.
of
Talented people.
talented people who were just people that we know, people from our community, people
That's right.
who had an impact on our lives just growing up. A lot of them have passed away in 2016. I'm just hoping 2017 be a little bit more. We have less deaths.
I agree with you. I think that I have the Sports Illustrated at home with LeBron James on the cover as a Sportsman of the Year. I agree with that. I'm a huge LeBron fan. Not so much what he does on the basketball court, but what he does off of it. Anybody that'll put 35 million to put 50 young kids from our communities through college is a serious person. But the greatest of all time would have been the cover that I would have used, just because of what he contributed. I will never forget the press conference with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, of course, and there was one other famous athlete with them, and that's the press conference where he announced that he would not fight in the Vietnam War. And I will never ever forget that the greatest of all time says, I don't have any quarrel with the Viet Cong because the Viet Cong never called me in, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, the heavyweight champ of the world just said that, right? The Viet Cong never called me. And so on that principle alone, I don't care whether he won or lost any fight, he was the greatest of all time. The other thing is, when I was very young and he knocked out Sonny Liston, the first thing he said after he got, never forget this either. I'm 21 years old. I don't have a mark on my face. I'm prettier than most girls. I must be the greatest. Never forget that. We will be right back. Matthews broadcast family. I must be the greatest. That's what I want you to say, y'all. Matthews broadcast. This is Stan Matthews here at 91.7 FM, Gems Radio, and streaming live on the web at www.gemsradio.net. Again, we want to make sure that we mention that tonight is the principle. We celebrate the principle of Kuji Chagalia, which is self-determination, naming for ourselves those things which we want to name, claiming for ourselves those things that we want to claim, setting a course and a destiny for our people and ourselves that is pleasing to us. Before we go to the next segment and speak with our guests, who we have huge news to announce this evening that I'm very, very excited about, I want to make sure that I give you information on reaching Greg Jones, our mortgage counselor and real estate coach. Greg can be reached at the mobile number of 609-929-2500, 609-929-2500. You can also email him at gjones@annie-mac.com, gjones@annie-mac.com, and you certainly can reach him on the web. at gregoryjones.annie-mac.com. gregoryjones.annie-mac.com. We want to make sure that you're able to get in contact with Brother Greg. We also want to remind you that if you're serious about growing your clientele today, accept no substitutes, we want you to join UBA. UBA is an organization that is dedicated to circulating dollars in urban communities and providing excellent service and savings to consumers in urban communities. So again, if you're serious about growing your clientele today, accept no substitutes, join UBA. Go to Mr. G's for classic soul food right here in Patterson, where good friends meet, greet, and eat. Mr. G's is at 455 East 18th Street in Patterson. You can call them at 973-782-4020 if you want takeout. Also, the man to my left, my image doctor from Alpha Digital Imaging, Brother Cornelius Hill. For images that last a lifetime, call him at 973-818-3020. 973-818-3020. And finally, Jay's Soft Touch Car Wash and Detailing Center at 69 Montgomery Street in Patterson. That is owned by Apostle Joseph Robinson Sr. and the whole Robinson family, who do a great work here in this community. Jay's Car Wash, the soft touch that makes your car blush. And we're going to get going right now with two brothers who are here to talk about a very, very forward-thinking technology, and that is doing marketing in a very unique way on the side of a fleet of vehicles that they own. They are Daniel Jones and Trey Jewett of Billboards for Hire. You're going to be hearing about these guys. They're going to do what Apple and Google and all the rest of them did for marketing, with a very forward-thinking concept that just has me fascinated and intrigued about its potential. So welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Stan. Thank you for having us.
Welcome, Trey.
Thank you.
So glad to have you here with us. Now tell us the name of the business. I think I said it already. I stole some of your thunder. Is Billboards for Hire, correct?
Yes, Billboards for Hire.
LED Media. Now tell me, Trey, what is the unique value of Billboards for Hire? What do you do that no one else can do?
Well, like you said, we're both penetrate into various different markets by bringing the actual message to the clients or to the customers versus stationary billboards. They're just positioned on certain locations on the highway, flyers that are just distributed out amongst thousands of people. We kind of capture the actual audience and we actually deliver the message to where your audience is actually going to be at. So it kind of helps on the return on investment. And our type of advertisement, you can't miss it. We have oversized mobile billboards that stand 13 feet tall. They're lighted for night vision. And we also have a 1,000-watt audio system on it as well. So it gives the audio as well as the visual conception when you're basically out advertising.
See, didn't I tell you it's on another level, right?
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Wow, man. Could you imagine if you put some fake news like that was going on in the election? Talk about somebody's mama 13 feet. I didn't like Joe's mother.
Everybody have it.
You'll be in a problem. Unbelievable. I really think that you guys are onto something. All of us in the inner circle, all of our strategic partners, those in UBA, are also very excited about this concept. I'd like to certainly spread the word about the Matthews broadcast, and in the new year we will do so. You're going to see one of Billboards for Hire or a couple of Billboards for Hire vehicles rolling around, telling people who don't know about the Matthews broadcast about it. As Beyonce said, in her song, you probably never heard about me, but guess what? Billboards for Hire. It's going to change that. Coming to a neighborhood near you.
Absolutely.
All right. I am I'd like to know what are some of the exciting campaigns, Daniel, that you guys have done that you remember? What are some of the things that you guys did that you just were like very pleased with? Like, man, this was really, really a good thing.
Well, we landed one with Hot 97 with the Hot for Holidays concert, and we marketed and we promoted for artists of Fat Joe, Usher, Remy Ma. Uh, who else was up there? Young Thug,
Also Ti.
Ti, Young Ma. So we did the marketing
Excellent.
and the broadcasting for that show as well.
Mhm.
We had Love Jones. What are the other ones that we had?
We did also Love Jones. The couple other concerts that are presented by SJ Presents, which is a large promoter out of the New York City area. So we've done various different venues, concerts that he's promoted and advertised for those that are hosted at Madison Square Garden, Barclays Center, and as well as the NJ Pack in Newark. So there's several different ones that we've also did.
That's
and
awesome.
We've also done some
That's
work
awesome.
for Apple. One of their launches for the devices, one of their handheld phones, and we are currently negotiating right now with one of the Broadway plays, The Lion King. So you guys should be seeing that very soon on our trucks, and we'll be advertising with them for several months. And
Not to mention the
That's what
Rutgers
I'm talking
Homecoming.
about, baby.
yes,
We also did a huge promotion for Rutgers Homecoming
Mhm.
that they had this past October. So that was a nice little launch. That was a nice grand launch for us as well. That really put us on the map in a different kind of way. And we appreciate Rutgers University as well for being one of our sponsors.
In the circle of life. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. These brothers are Broadway, Hollywood, everything. Oh man, it makes me feel good. You know, I believe that success grows in proportion. As the man named Yeshua ben Joseph, also known to the world as Jesus the Christ, said, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. People mistakenly believe that just because, brothers, your thing is going up like it is, it means my thing has to be going down. I think we should just all go up together, So, your success is my success, and likewise, I mean, I have no problem being your biggest cheerleader because I know as you get blessed, I'm gonna get blessed. My grandfather taught me that you get blessed in proportion of those you honor. So he said, if you honor a fool, you're gonna get foolishness.
Absolutely.
If you honor success, you're gonna
That
be
makes sense.
successful. So Trey, where did this concept come from? And Daniel, I want you to back him up on that. How did this come into your
well,
head?
this concept came up. So been in business now for the last 6 years. The actual concept came up from Ideal out in Vegas. I was out there visiting some folks and friends, and came across another gentleman that had somewhat of a similar type of advertising vehicle as well. So there in Vegas, you got thousands of people coming back and forth, tourists coming in up and down the strip. So you have everyone from mom and pop business to the big casinos that are looking to broadcast their message out. As soon as you come out of your hotel, they want to say, "Hey, come to our spot for the biggest buffet. Come to our spot for our jackpots are ringing the most and things of that nature." So during the time we were out there, I kept seeing these, vehicles up and down. Sometimes it was just a car, and it would have something just on top of the car saying, come to the Flamingo. So and here's the discount card. Mention this spot. So during the time there, I had some great times out there. But I said, this would work back over on the East Coast. To bring this to the New York, various DC, Atlanta, and various different markets, and promote for larger companies on that as for them as well. So started off with one billboard advertising, and then as things proceeded and lessons learned, then we expanded, and this is where we're at now at this point, advertising for larger venues, larger companies, and we also still do work for smaller companies as well. But that's where the actual concept stemmed from an actual visual that we saw out in Vegas.
A good friend of mine, Ken, I'm not going to say Ken's last name over the air, wants to know, can he invest with y'all? I'm just answering the text. He wants to know, how can I get down with those brothers? I mean, go ahead and tell me your experience, Dan. If you want to answer that question, fine, but I just got to text.
Tell Kent, we'll give him that phone call after the show.
I'm going to text him back right
So
now.
everything's always up for negotiation.
There you go. But what's your reflection on the success that you guys have had? Why do you think that came about in such a powerful way and is going in the direction to enable you guys to get the kind of clients that you're getting now?
I mean, just piggyback on what Trey said, like the concept that he saw and that, once he brought it back, it was like, hey man, listen, this is awesome because we're in a market where we can't go wrong. Everybody needs this kind of advertising and this kind of broadcasting.
Right.
Everybody. I don't care if you're hosting a garage sale on Saturday, all the way up until corporate America. The bottom line is it's awareness, and that's all it is. That's all it's about. Is awareness.
That's right.
You ride down the street on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, you see the car with the big sign that says garage sale, turn left.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if you had a big LED mobile billboard sitting out there with the garage sale up there, with your visual, with your audio. Or you're riding down Times Square or 42nd Street and you see this huge Samsung phone that they have coming out. Or you see an Apple phone, or you see something that your kid has always been asking you about. And you see this constantly going, because we already know what people see is what people associate themselves with. So the more they see it, guess what? The more they want it. And business owners and savvy business owners, I'll say like this, we're the beginning part, we're the first start of them spending their money. Because the person has to catch the idea. Once they catch the idea, their next step is to hand that credit card to either the business or the business owner, whoever they're going to spend their money with. But they have to see it. And the more they see it, the more it stays on their brain. So guess what? Instead of wearing a red hat today, I saw this big, nice, colorful black hat that I want to wear. So guess what? I'm going to go purchase the black hat because I just saw the black hat. And that's all it's about. It's just bringing that awareness to the forefront of the person's mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we captivate the audience. So when it comes to our target, we target everybody. You can't miss us. We're the elephant in the room wherever we go. So being that we're the elephant in the room, guess what? We have no choice but to command your attention, whether you want to see us or not.
I agree with you entirely. Tell us how to get in contact with you, Brother Dan.
You can reach us at 877-806-3687. Once again, that's 877-306-8637.
Trey, what's the website?
It's www.billboards4hire.com.
One more time.
That's www.billboards4hire.com.
Look for Billboards for Hire in January. I'm leaving to go to Tampa, Florida for a little while. Coming back to handle some business and personal and family business down there. We'll be back in the new year. Look for Matthew's broadcast and our empowerment line on Billboards for Hire vehicles. We are going to do 2017 in a big way. As Brother Daniel said, we are going to command your attention. We spend trillions of dollars into this economy. We are going to be asking you consumers to save money and get excellent service, and finally to invest in your own community. The concept that we have is to tell you every dollar you spend on our empowerment line will create empowerment. Not only will you get excellent service, you will also get savings, but you will also be investing in better education. You'll be investing in nonprofit organizations. You'll be investing in infrastructure. You'll be investing in job creation in your own community. So we're not asking you to do anything different. We're asking you to just call our empowerment line, and you're going to see that empowerment line rolling around your neighborhoods in Patterson, in Jersey City, in Newark, in Elizabeth. Everywhere our people are, you're going to see these brothers. So I want to thank Daniel Jones. I want to thank Trey Jewett. I want to thank Billboards for Hire for being here. I want to thank my wealth doctor, thank the family down in Roselle. We're about to head down to Roselle Health Plus for our reception with all of our friends so that we could carry this message forward to those gathered there at 125 East 2nd Avenue in Roselle. Remember, more than anything else, I want to thank you, our audience, because without you, the Matthews broadcast does not exist. Remember, there's two types of people in the world: dreamers like you and dream killers. Embrace the first and run like heck from the second. This is Stan Matthews saying, be blessed. Do everything the way it should be done. Up, you mighty race. You can achieve what you will. Good night, all.
Thank you. Thank you, Stan. Thanks for having us.
Mm-hmm.